What's going on, Nitro gang? The Nitro head reporter is here with you today. And guys, I am sitting next to my own trophy of Bones Brew Nitro fuel. And I am sad to have to report, I just watched a video on YouTube by Raja111, and he claims that Bones Brew is no longer going to be selling nitro fuel. Now his reason, I'll go over it in a little bit. I just want to say the Nitro gang has reporters all around the world, and you are getting the most accurate, the most up-to-date information. Special thanks to a friend of mine, KGM5512, for reaching out to me and telling me the updated news.
What's up, everybody? KGM5512 here, talking to the Nitro gang. I was watching Raja111's channel this morning, and he released the news that Bones Brew is no longer going to be manufactured. So, unfortunately, if you have any of this amazing fuel, hold on to it. Don't waste it, because they're not going to be making it anymore.
I was getting ready to do a video on this vintage Traxxas Nitro Sport, but of course, it needs to burn some nitro. Luckily, it's a small block engine. But now, I'm going to be extra frugal with a couple remaining quarts of the best value nitro fuel that I have ever come across in my life. Let's take a quick look at Raja111, a sponsored YouTube creator by Bones Brew. He has a relationship with Brent Bones, who is the owner of this fuel brand. The relationship I have is, well, I run the fuel and I yell 2-speed baby. That's my relationship. Let's take a quick look at Raja111's video, then we'll come back here and dissect what he said.
Bones Brew is shutting down, so it's a wrap, because there's been a lot of regulatory or regulations. Some Prop 65 or something like that. They want them to have these certain kind of bottles or testing for these bottles and everything. So it's really expensive. Like testing costs like $8,000, and that doesn't even prove that you're going to even pass, right? So he just like, I'm out. Fuel wise, it's done. He's going to just become a distributor for VP. So he's just going to be selling VP fuels. Going to the metal cans, the price goes up because the cans are more expensive than the plastic.
My understanding, there's a problem with the container itself. This is a plastic container. Now, this is not the first time that Bones Brew has stopped shipping fuel and took a little bit of time off in order to repackage. They actually used to use different containers. Unfortunately, I no longer have one of those, but if you had one of their old containers, it would be obvious that the older container had a different looking neck at the top. It appears that Prop 65 requires the shipping of hazardous substances such as nitro fuel to be in metal bottles.
Proposition 65, officially known as the Safe Drinking Water and Toxic Enforcement Act of 1986, is a California law. It is designed to protect the public from exposure to toxic chemicals found in drinking water, the environment, and the products they purchase. The state of California maintains a list of chemicals under Proposition 65. If a product contains a listed substance above its associated safe harbor level, it must come with a clear and reasonable warning for the user. Proposition 65 is not exclusive to California-based companies and their products. Businesses that operate or sell in the state must also provide clear and reasonable warnings about the presence of listed substances in their products.
That is the culprit. I did some in-depth research, and we are going to determine if our favorite product, nitromethane, is in fact on the list. This is a list of all the possible chemicals. If I scroll down, they'll tell you exactly when they have been added and what they are known to cause. Developmental toxicity, female reproduction toxicity, male reproductive toxicity, cancer, and a bunch of other cancers. Let's do a chemical search. Nitromethane, the main ingredient that makes us run rich and loud. And here it is, nitromethane. Type of toxicity, cancer-causing agent, added in 1997. Well, guys, I don't know. It seems to me like these manufacturers that sell fuels have known about this for a very, very long time. And in fact, this only applies to California. You know what? why not keep selling Bones Brew throughout the rest of America? Let California do what they want. The rest of us, we want nothing to do with this Prop 65 list. But in reality, this is a good decision. Labeling has to be made in order to protect the public, the environment, and protect us from the products that we buy. The news, it's not all that bad, guys, okay? Just like the real news, a lot of it is kind of portrayed in a very negative light in order to get your clicks, in order to get your views. The reality is, the Bones Brew fuel uses VP fuel to start out with. The only difference with the Bones Brew, of course, it was inexpensive. They used their own proprietary blend of lubricants inside. But in reality, it's still the VP fuel. People throughout many years have been running VP. I know a lot of good friends of mine, Dan Y, we got Tara Curry, many guys have been running the VP fuel. The only situation here, I think, for us end users will be, well, how much will the quart cost? In all of my years of running nitros, the Bones Brew has been by far, I would say, the best fuel and also the cheapest fuel. If you got 12 quarts, you got free shipping, which basically brought your quart cost to like, you know, $8 to $9. It was very inexpensive. The logic, as Raja 111 here goes to say, is, well, the costs are going to go up because producing metal cans costs more money. Now, my, I guess, addition to that would be, how much more is it really gonna cost? I mean, honestly, people are willing to pay $1 more per quart. I really doubt that producing this metal can cost $1. I really just honestly really doubt it, because if you go to the dollar store, let's say Dollar Tree, whatever store, you can buy a whole lot of, let's say, certain kinds of metal junk, and it'll only cost you $1. And that is an actual final product. It's an actual good that you are buying. Here, it's just a can. Really, they're not that expensive, you know what I mean? So maybe there's more to it than that. I don't want to say that he is incorrect. You know, Raja111 is a sponsored YouTuber by Bones Brew themselves. I am not. I am just an end user reporting to you the sad news of the day. Now, people long ago have been asking me on the channel, do you think this is the end of Nitro? And my answer is, you cannot kill a Nitro. And guess what, guys? There will be more fuels that we are all going to run. When something leaves the market, there's always something that enters the market. Now, hopefully, that is true unless you live in China. Because if something leaves China, like the Apple factory, well, they don't come back. If this is truly the end of Bones Brew, I just want to recap my own end user experience with the fuel throughout the years. Now, back when I started, people ran Byron. They also ran O'Donnell. I gotta tell you, this fuel is superior to some of the best branded fuels I've ever run. With Byron and with O'Donnell, yes, you generally had to use after-run oil. After about a month, your motor would wind up getting seized. It would be hard to spin over the pull starter. With the Bones Brew, I'm gonna tell you guys, you can run a tank, not use after-run oil, and then come back to it half a year. And the motor will still be free, it'll still be loose, you will still be able to spin it over. The oil package in this fuel is superior to really anything I have ever run. The value, the cost, and even like the look of the bottle, it's desirable. It's desirable. In fact, I try to put in this image into many of my RC videos. Another element I really loved about the Bones Brew fuel was the fact that they weren't trying to kill you on price, whether you got 20%, whether you got 25%, or whether you got 30% nitro. I have always run the 30% nitro, 10% oil. For me, it appears to be a very good mix of oil, a good mix of nitro, and in fact, all engines run really well. Unless, of course, you're going to run like old ABN style motors. There you would want more oil and a little less nitro. For modern engines, especially Traxxas products, pretty much any Hobeo nitro motor, anything in a ready to run, this is a perfect fuel and oil blend. Bones Brew is completely out of fuel. This is the fuel blend I run, $111 for 12 quarts, which is exactly 3 gallons. Let's see what happens if I try to add it to cart. The Bones Brew is currently not available. What about some alternative fuels? Well, A-Main is your source to go to. They have a vast selection of fuels. Any brand you want, any fuel mix you want, any quantity you want. The cheapest one is $10.49 for a quart. It's 20%. Morgan Sidewinder. If you want to run really, really rich with a lot of smoke, this is the fuel you want to get. $10.49, this is trustworthy fuel. I've purchased engines with this fuel in it. It was quite adequate. I'll put a link to this fuel in the description to this video. A-Main also has the full range of VP fuels. This one is highly recommended. I have ran this one personally. 1 quart, 25% nitro, 11% oil at $13 currently on sale. This is in essence the same fuel they use for Bones Brew, guys. It's the same exact fuel. That's why Raja 111 said that they will be going to just stocking VP fuels on the website. So this is actually quite adequate. We are not missing nitro fuel, guys, if that's what you're thinking. If you're looking to buy fuel in bulk, well, there's also 6 gallons available at one time. The price is a little up there, but that's okay. Let me scroll to one that I think is a very, very good deal. And in fact, I think I will actually be ordering this myself. We have the Backyard Basher, 20% nitro fuel. Only $132 for 4 gallons. That's 16 quarts. This, in fact, is actually cheaper than the Bones Brew. It does have a relatively high oil content, but you know what? You want to bash in the backyard on the cheap? This is the fuel for you guys. I've seen it run. It also performs quite well. In fact, many people use Morgan Fuel and Backyard Basher. So we do have options. It is not the end of the Nitro Gang world. I'll put a link to this in the description of this video as well. And guys, if this information is true, I'm going to be sad to see Bones Brew go. I want to say thank you all for watching. Please go and subscribe to the person that told me about this news, KGM5512. He's a great dude. He has Bajas, he has fifth scales, he has a Ford pickup truck, and he's an all-around positive individual that will always help you out. Until then, guys, I'm going to be shopping for some new fuel because, to be honest with you, I was planning on running the HPI Savage XL with a 3-speed transmission today, and that thing is a gas guzzler. See you guys later. There's nothing like Taco Bell, nachos, and a vintage TC3. I've put all of the best together. And now, let me enjoy my nachos. Nitro World Order.
Nitro World Order.